Hey guys, welcome to your What is Perspective notes. So either make a copy of these notes after reviewing them or record helpful notes in your physical notebook for this unit. This will be really helpful as you work through the perspective lesson. So like I said, these ideas that we're getting ready to discuss will be very helpful as we go through this slideshow. And this slideshow will have more than one video inside of it, so I suggest that you make sure that you watch the videos that correspond to it. And of course, I'll put what slides they correspond to. So this video, for example, will only correspond to the first 3 slides. Okay. So before we even start, point of view versus perspective, these words are often used for the same thing, even though they are different. So just know, put a special note in your head, if you ever see an EOG question that says, what is the point of view of the author, or what is the author's point of view, they are talking about perspective. Please just know that. You will never have an EOG question about first, second, third, omniscient, objective point of view. Like, you'll never have anything about writing. Now, the writing point of view does go into it, and it is important, and we'll talk about it. But just know, point of view and perspective are interchangeable on the EOG, kind of like main idea and central idea. So let's review some vocabulary before we get too far in. So this is going to be the last slide in this video. Characters and people in the story. Characters are people, animals, living things that have lines and dialogue, stuff that exists inside of a work of literature. The effect is the result or consequence of something. The audience is the collective group of listeners and or the viewers. So most of the time the audience is who is it written for. So even though you might be a reader, you have to think sometimes, am I the person that this was initially written for? Okay, like a sermon at a church is written for the congregants of that church. So if I, someone who doesn't go to that church, reads the sermon, I might be confused because there might be things in that sermon I don't understand. Or think about this, an inside joke is a joke between just you and your friend. So as an audience, y'all are your only audience. So if I am a listener outside of your audience group, you and your friend, I might be confused. So sometimes that does come into play, but most of the time you as the reader are part of the audience. Humor is it's exactly what you think it is. It's when a story tries to make you laugh. A lot of times this is done through irony, which is when something unexpected happens or something is left out so that the reader is caught off guard. And then that's the same idea with suspense. So humor is the funny version of it. Suspense is the intense anticipation part the audience gets while waiting for the outcome of events. Now, it's very important when we think about suspense to know that suspense does not necessarily equate to scary. Sometimes it just equates to that nervous feeling you get when you know that something is missing, but you can't find it. So think about like anxiety. It doesn't necessarily have to be scary. Okay?